Welcome back to Battles That Built the World, where history's most awkward encounters get the dramatic retelling they deserve. Today's episode, the Battle of Tours, the 732 CE showdown, where a grumpy Frankish warlord named Charles Martel, aka the Hammer, clashed with the Umayyad Caliphate's Mediterranean takeover tour and accidentally saved Europe from becoming a sequel to Al-Andalus. Grab your battle axe and a croissant. This is a story of how a forest, a hammer, and sheer stubbornness reshaped a continent. Let's rewind. The Umayyad Caliphate is the influencer of the 8th century, conquering everything from Spain to Sind, modern Pakistan, in 100 years. By 711, they've crossed into Iberia, crushed the Visigoths, and turned Al-Andalus, Islamic Spain, into a cosmopolitan hub of science, art, and very good olives. But the Umayyads aren't done. Under Governor Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi, they pushed north into Francia, modern France, looting monasteries and eyeing Tours, a city so rich even its churches have golden doorknobs. Meanwhile, Francia is a mess. The Merovingian kings are figureheads. Real power lies with Charles Martel, the mayor of the palace. Think medieval CEO. Charles has spent years uniting Frankish warlords by force, charisma, and the occasional "I'll hammer your face" threat. His army? A mix of heavy infantry with axes, shields, and chainmail. No cavalry, no bows, just come-at-me energy. In 732, Abdul Rahman's army, 20,000 cavalry, mostly Berber light horse and Arab elites, and a baggage train of loot, marches north. Their goal? Sack Tours, then keep going to the Rhine. But Charles isn't having it. He intercepts them near Poitiers, picking a battlefield that's basically Frankish cheat codes, a forest to block cavalry flanking and a hill to tire out horses. The Umayyads, used to open deserts and speedy raids, are baffled. Their cavalry charges get funneled into Frankish shield walls. Charles's infantry, fighting in phalanx-like squares, uses axes to chop at horses' legs and daggers to stab riders. It's like bringing a tank to a bicycle race if the tank was made of angry lumberjacks. But here's the twist. The Umayyads aren't here to conquer. They're here to raid. Their army is weighed down with loot, gold, silk, enslaved monks, and their morale hinges on quick wins. Charles? He's fighting for survival. No retreat, no surrender. Just, this is my forest, get out. After 7 days of skirmishes, the Umayyads make one final charge. Abdul Rahman dies in the melee. Historians still debate how. Frankish axe? Friendly fire? Karma? Leaderless, the Umayyads retreat south, abandoning their loot. Charles earns his nickname Martel, the hammer. Not for his weapon, but for hammering the idea that Europe isn't up for grabs. Tours wasn't just a battle. It was a vibe shift for Islam. The Umayyads halt northward expansion. Al-Andalus remains a jewel, but the Pyrenees become a hard border. By 750, the Umayyad dynasty falls to the Abbasids. But that's a story for Baghdad. For France, Charles becomes a legend. His grandson, Charlemagne, builds an empire on his rep, kicking off the Carolingian Renaissance. For Europe, Christianity stays dominant. No Islamic Caliphate in Paris. No call to prayer in the Loire Valley. Just 1,000 years of knights, castles, and Deus Vult memes. But here's the kicker. Historians still argue if Tours saved Europe. Did the Umayyads even want to conquer France, or were they just raiding? Either way, Charles's win became propaganda, a clash of civilizations myth used by everyone from crusaders to modern politicians. The truth? It was probably about loot. But try telling that to a guy named the Hammer. Tours' legacy is less about tactics and more about narrative. Charles Martel becomes the OG savior of Christendom, a title recycled by kings and YouTube edgelords alike. The Franks pivot from tribal squabbles to empire building, and Europe, it stays a Christian club until, well, colonialism. Oh, and let's not forget the Carolingian Renaissance. Without Tours, no Charlemagne. No Charlemagne, no revived Latin learning, no medieval universities, no universities, and you're not watching this video. Thanks, Charles. But the real lesson? Geography is destiny. The forest and hill at Tours neutralized cavalry, the Umayyads MVP. Meanwhile, Charles's infantry proved that discipline beats bling. Also, never underestimate a guy who unironically calls himself the Hammer. So, next time you see a Battle of Tours meme, remember, it wasn't just axes versus horsemen. It was a messy, muddy scuffle that decided whose gods got statues and who's got footnotes. If you want more tales of bearded saviors, questionable nicknames, and history's greatest what-ifs, smash that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. Should we dissect Hastings next, or the time a drunk elephant ended the Roman Republic? History's wild, folks, and you are no different. Thanks for watching.